And you can also see the difference of using NVENC versus the X264 encoder. Now you can see that NVENC is doing actually a rather decent job with the image quality. You get very low CPU usages when using NVENC, around 3 to 5%, whereas if you're using X264 for encoding, your OBS is actually using around 15 to 20% of your CPU. On the other hand, if you go down with your bitrate because you don't have such a high upload, you can see that the NVENC codec is actually struggling quite a bit with keeping up a nice image quality. And in that case, I'm afraid you don't really have another option than to use the X264 codec or your CPU for streaming. Now, if this is the case for you, if you have to use the X264 codec, you want to use the following settings. So go with CBR again, this is always the best setting. The minimum bitrate that I found had still a reasonable video quality on Twitch was about 2500 kilobits per second. If you don't have a higher upload speed, so for example if you only have 4 megabits per second, then you should really consider if you actually want to live stream. In that case, by the way, I also recommend you to use 720 or even lower resolutions here. But let's go back to the bitrate. So if you can stream at 2500, for example if you have a 5 megabit upload, use a keyframe interval of 2. Now the CPU preset is another thing that kind of varies depending on your CPU. Now if you have a very good CPU, you might want to consider to go higher than very fast. So basically anything below very fast is worse quality, but it uses less CPU, and anything higher than very fast uses more CPU but gives you a nicer quality on the stream. Unfortunately, even for me, I have a quad core at 5 GHz, I cannot really run anything higher than very fast, so chances are you cannot really run faster on your CPU either. For the profile we want to choose high once again, don't pick anything for tune or X264 options. Okay, so we've talked about the audio tab in my previous video, you can check it out over here again. We've looked at the video tab. You can set up hotkeys, so you can set up a hotkey for changing between scenes, you can set up a hotkey for recording or to start and stop your stream. But because this is quite straightforward, we're just gonna head on to the advanced tab. Now what you can do here is if you have problems that OBS Studio is using up too much of your resources and it has an impact on the game you're playing, is that you can set the process priority to something below normal. I wouldn't recommend you to use idle, but you can use below normal and that might improve the gaming performance just a tiny winsy little bit. Now in video format, you want to use the Direct 3D obviously, you want to use the NV12 color format. This basically describes the chroma subsampling and it's not really important, just use NV12. Use the YUV color space 709 and the
One of our defensive ends finished second in the league in sacks and went up by 6 overall.
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front.
Other than that, a couple players finished with a couple overall points here and there. But overall, we're getting better. Newbie, am I a new streamer? No, dude. Why do you ask?
Looking to throw on second down.
Oh, what a catch! Tyler Eifert.
Tight end Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown.
What? Tyler Eifert going off. Hey, y'all give me 1 second. I think I need to open the door for my girlfriend real quick. She doesn't have a key. Hello? Yeah. All right, bye. Be right back, y'all. One follower must be a new account. I don't know what you mean. BRB. One follower must be a new account.